Hi everybody. This video is about Tariq Nasheed beef with Jay Morrison and vice versa. Now, I just listened to Tariq Nasheed's Instagram Live that is on D Tubman channel, and he played and Tariq Nasheed played Jay Morrison speaking. I heard of Jay Morrison, but he's not an activist that I'm familiar with. And one thing I will say, according to D Tubman for Tariq Nasheed Instagram Live for September 17 on Jay Morrison, was deleted. Said the Instagram deleted the first live, but D Tubman got the other two. So my thing is, whenever you start talking about anybody who you disagree with when it comes to ADOS or anything, and their social media machine gets your videos deleted or taken down or struck down, then that sends a message to me that Jay Morrison is protected by, I'll say, a higher cause, for lack of a better word. He is protected by a higher cause because Tariq Nasheed Instagram Live was deleted because of the points he brought out about Jay Morrison. So that tells me that there's something's not lining up. It's not lining up. Good or bad, it's not lining up. Now, what do I think? After listening to Tariq Nasheed and hearing Jay Morrison, parts of Jay Morrison's speech, from a higher perspective, Tariq Nasheed has a point. First of all, ADOS. What is ADOS about? The fact that Jay Morrison said that he used the word leader. He is, it's like Tariq said, and I heard Boris Borkin speaking about the Tariq and Jay Morrison beef and how it makes no sense to him. So that's what brought me to find what Tariq is talking about. Because I didn't even realize Tariq's channel was down. Because it just apparently it's down because he's on I don't know. He said something about, I don't know. I'm just sensing that it's down or something up with his YouTube channel because I'm not hearing it, maybe not. But when Jay Morrison mentioned He the leader? He's the leader of what? Black Lives Matter had a leader. And for what I understand, those so-called leaders are no more. Or their situation, their condition has changed, not for the best. But, so ADOS has nothing to do with leadership. People want to say Yvette is the leader, Tone is the leader, but I think Yvette said she been doing this with trying to come up with the ADOS since 2016. Well, I was a part of it when she came back from whatever. When she came back and not have that other guy that she was partnered with, and ADOS started being formed from a united conversation in the comment section. So ADOS come about through Yvette and Tone. Now, it's nothing about a leadership. We understand Americans, descendants of slavery. I can trace my descendant to slavery back I think 5 generations, because my dad's mom and her mom and dad are in the cemetery. My dad, my grandmother, her mother and dad. That's 3 generations right there that I can walk up to and put a flower on. Now, my grandmother's mother, my grandmother's mother. Let's see, my dad, his mom, his grandma, and his great grandma. So I can trace it back 4 generations, because my great grandma, I can go to the grave site, because my great grandma, my grandma, and my dad, and his brother, my uncle, they're all in the same cemetery. I got pictures of, once I found out where my great grandma's tomb was. Now, for my great grandma's mother, there's still family around that speaks about her. So, me finding her would not be an issue. So, I can go back 4 generations. So I'm a descendant of slavery. And an actual ADOS understands that. Whether a person agrees 100% with ADOS, they know if they are ADOS. And Boris Walken said he can go back 3 generations and he's an ADOS, and he can speak on it if he chooses. And I totally agree. But my thing with Jay Morrison is this. First of all, he talks about leadership. Are any ADOS trying to be leader of the ADOS? No. I'm my own leader. I don't need nobody to lead me nowhere. I'm my own sovereign. So, what makes him think because he's a real estate person hired by some billionaire company and he doing good things, like the Tulsa fund he's talking about? I think that's a good thing. And then there's another called the Ocoee riots. I never heard of that until they got reparations. They said that there was like 25, 50 people that was murdered, and now the descendants of those got a reparation. I think it was like $10,000 a piece, or 10 million, or whatever like that. So they got reparations for that group of people. So with the Tulsa fund, those in Tulsa that all of that happened to, if the Oconee can get it, these Indians can get it, reparations for that, then those Tulsa victims can get their own reparations. And ADOS is a different group for reparations based on lineage. Chinese got reparations on lineage from Americans. Japanese got reparations based on lineage from the Americans. And that's because they live here. Jews got reparations in America. And then you have other people say, well, we went through slavery too. Did you go through slavery in America? On the American slavery. I think America was the very last place on the planet to let go of the slavery, which they actually didn't because the plantation moved to incarceration. Plantation, incarceration. So the plantation has moved to incarceration. And now after 400 years, we're free. 400 years of slavery, according to the Bible, according to everything historic that's ever been said about slavery and black people and this and that, it's up. Therefore, we're free to speak our minds, to what some would call get white people money. It's not white people money, it's money that's been generated from the bodies of the descendant of slaves. So, leadership. That's the one thing I got with him. ADOS has no leader. Everybody is the individual leader, the individual sovereign. We are completely different people, but we all believe through lineage it's time for reparation because 400 years later we're free. We are no longer under bondage of slavery according to no religion, according to no doctrine, no nothing. Then something else he said, another thing that really, really annoys me when it comes to these Americans, these black Americans that are not descendant of slavery. ADOS is stupid. ADOS is ignorant. ADOS need to read a book. ADOS need to read their history. ADOS need to this. ADOS not intelligent. My thing is, that's another thing. We're not hearing you. You can say all those things you want. ADOS is not hearing it. ADOS is focused. So that annoys me. You gotta put down the ADOS people and say, you the intelligent one that gotta come in and tell the ADOS what path they need to go. Every single ADOS is on their own specific path in life. Everybody has a mission. Everybody came here with a purpose. Every single ADOS person has a purpose in life. They have a mission. They have a path. My path is not Yvette path. Yvette path is not Tone path. Jim Morrison path It's not Tariq path, and Tariq path is not my path. Everybody got their own path, but every single person taking a different path to the reparations. It's time for everybody to be allowed to experience a human life, experience life as a human on this earth like they intended to. And for people to just want to just tell one group of people who I would be saying black community, but if you think about it, there are no black communities because everybody as a conglomerate, black immigrants, legal or non-legal, of all ethnics, all cultural, wherever they come from on the planet. They're all as a conglomerate can have as an individual group have their communities. There's a Guatemalan community. Well, Guatemala's a Hispanic. There's a Hispanic community, Mexican community, Latino community, white community, Thai community, Puerto Rican community, Japanese community. Who else over here? The Jewish community, the LGBT community, and all they are is just a group of people that want to tell everybody on the planet that they need to do what they say or else. Anyway, all of these communities, and I'm pretty sure there are more. Let's take what they have a Nigerian community. You have Jamaican communities. You have the I guess you got all kind of communities. These are the communities. Now, the only group of people that don't have a community is the ADOS community. And why? Because every community that I name and some and those I have yet to, I didn't remember, I didn't mention because they didn't come into my mind. Those communities come together to make sure that the ADOS community does not exist because everybody wants to come and eat off ADOS like America has been doing since its creation, bringing them over here in 1619, 400 years ago. Now, after doing my meditation, sitting out in nature early this morning, it came to me. There's no black community. There are black neighborhoods. And my thing is this, black neighborhood. Blacks had communities burned down, destroyed. You come in and do whatever. But there are black neighborhoods that people will come in and try to leech off, turn them into predators, like all these different stores. They got laws where in the black neighborhoods, black folks are not allowed to own businesses. They're not allowed to sell or nothing. They are coming in and wanting to sell their junk in the black neighborhood. The thing is, the black neighborhood, those in the black neighborhood don't have to 100% spend with these groups of people. A neighborhood can come together and do whatever. Like the neighborhood I'm in. It's a mixed neighborhood. Majority white. It's a majority white subdivision trailer park. You can either build a house or you can bring a trailer. And then some blacks. It's a neighborhood. It's not a community. So since ADOS has been forced into to have just neighborhoods and not communities, then ADOS should function as a neighborhood. Well, in your particular neighborhood, you as an individual person, you got what you got going on, and you come together, unite, and support each other. Because if you support each other as a community, it's going to turn into another Black Wall Street. It's going to turn into another Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's going to turn into these things, these conditions that just keep black people economically powerless, economically starving, economically in a cesspool by design. So, but I'm saying the world is eventually going to it's going to come down to neighborhood. Globally, everybody will be able to contact each other. Let's say like in my neighborhood. Do I have to go to the corner store up the road and buy what I want? No. I can get on the phone with my daughter and the hair products that she sells, the hair product that she, because she's a cosmetologist, I can buy it from her and she have it shipped to me. Or she buys from a person in this area. She said, well, you know, Mom, you can go here because this is a global thing. Since black people don't have a community by design, they have neighborhoods by design. It's called taking lemons, putting the right amount of sugar in it, and making lemonade. Now, sometimes you can have rotten, disgusting lemons, and you can put some sugar in that. It might taste sweet, but you don't want to drink rotten, disgusting lemonade. You want some, some fresh lemons. It's sour, but the rotten ones, what you do, you throw the rotten lemons away and you keep the good ones and you make your lemonade. So, with that said, Jim Morrison and this, like Tariq said, he called it foundational ADOS movement, and he trying to change the path of the ADOS foundational movement to one of he's the leader. Nobody calls Yvette leader. Nobody calls Tone leader. They don't see themselves as leader. So that's the first mistake. He want to be leader of the ADOS movement. I don't need a leader. I can think for myself. You put the information out there. I look at the information. I can take it and do whatever with it. The part that I agree, the part that I don't agree, I can take and do whatever with it. But we all is on one accord. We all on one accord. Reparations every other group, ethnic group, cultural group in America who's actually not American have ankle babies here that get reparations. But you don't want those who are drugged over here, worked for 400 years to get nothing but dust, crumbs. And then you go slap them crumbs out the hand. So that's another thing. Talking about leadership, treating the ADOS as if they're totally unintelligent people, as if they don't know their own history. We don't need to read a history book to know what the history of the ADOS is, the history of black people, history of colored people, history of whatever the white people want to call them N-word. We don't need a history book to tell us that. We lived it. Therefore, we don't have to listen to people that come over here, read a history book, and then come tell us what our history is, as if we didn't live it. That's the second thing. We are intelligent people. And it's the third thing that he said. I was kind of side. It was kind of sideways, but it is. I kind of forgot a little bit about what it is because those two stuck out in my mind. But yeah, the fact that I don't know where Tariq Nasheed get Dominican from. Yeah, is he an actual ADOS? That's the third one. He doesn't talk like ADOS. So I don't get the sense that he's ADOS. I don't know exactly what he is. They said he's African American, and I'm pretty sure he is. But there are millionaire, billionaire African Americans like Oprah, like Michael Jordan, like a lot of rich black people that are ADOS or whatever, could be ADOS or whatever, I don't know. I don't know who their grandparents are, whether their grandparents are here, or whether their grandparents came over here and reside among the black neighborhoods, grew up so they can have that experience and then come out. It's like living in a poor black community while you are through a channel getting the best. Everybody around you is eating junk food because they can't afford real food. All of the kind of stuff that's being thrown on them, trash, whatever. But you live among these people, but you are not actually living that experience that they're living. Because some people, you call into the neighborhood, everybody, you go visit the people, everybody live in a certain way. When you go in a certain person's house, you can tell that that person is not living that experience the person next door is living. The person next door is struggling very hard. But if you look at that person's situation, you realize this person has a connection to better resources in the neighborhood with those that have no resources, that don't have the income to do what they want to do what they need to do. But anyway, those are the three things: leadership, calling ADOS, speaking to ADOS as if they are intelligent and actually saying it out their mouth. We don't need people to tell ADOS people that if you get a reparation check, this is what's going to happen. We don't care about that. No, none of that matters. And talking to ADOS people like that as they are completely unintelligent people is a problem. That's number two. And he doesn't speak like a ADOS. It's like, okay, reparation. Y'all should get reparation. But why give reparations to people who just gonna blow it? I think the majority of the people, I don't care how poor they are or however they live, they get their ADOS check. I don't believe these people gonna go out and just buy cars. First, because everybody wants to live in a decent house. I believe these people get money, and if they are allowed to spend this money to live their best life, I think they'll do that without the constant intervention of people who wants to take the money. Let them spend the money where they want to spend it, because they're going to buy houses, they're going to buy cars, and they're going to live their life. And then they'll probably want to put something back, and you know what? That's what I see. And those people are not ignorant people. But anyway, that's it for this video. You can check out my channel, my spoken word poetry channel, Nearport Community, and I'm still in the process of branding that particular channel. I put a new my phone in my notepad and took my little fingers in the color and drew my own logo for it. And if you like, you can check it out. You can check out. I've begun to put a couple of just rough poetry on there, spoken poetry on there that I pre-recorded. And those who would want, they could pre-record their own spoken word poetry, and I can upload it. It'll be featured for a week on the site where I have the feature section. It'll be featured for a week, and everyone that comes in, those first time visitors coming in, they will get to see it. And that, so I'm still in the middle of creating it, so that's it, and I will see you in this video. Bye.